How does a self-help group led by a man who claimed to have a 240 IQ crumble into a criminal enterprise that literally branded women with his initial and laundered millions? How does a promise of unlocking human potential become a machine, sex trafficking, forced labor, and massive financial fraud? This is the story of NXIVM and its charismatic, messianic criminal leader, Keith Raniere. To understand how a so-called humanitarian group became a racketeering enterprise, you have to follow the money. Because long before he was a cult leader, Keith Raniere was a con man, and NXIVM wasn't even his first pyramid scheme, it was just his most successful one.
His idea is to arrange for you to combine your purchasing power, everything you buy, with millions of other Americans into one big purchasing family, to give us all some clout when it comes to getting a better price. His name is Keith Raniere. His idea is called Consumer's Byline, and I'd like you to meet this impressive young man. Keith, happy to see you again.
Yes, happy to see you too.
It's an amazing idea.
Yes, well, sometimes it even amazes me. But Consumer's Byline is wonderful, and it's working. We've been able to concentrate all this purchasing power, literally hundreds of thousands of buyers, to get a better deal from the sellers.
Raniere con artist arc started in 1919 when he founded a company called Consumers Byline Incorporated, or CBI. On paper, CBI was a multi-level marketing company, an MLM. The MLM promised its member exclusive discount on everything from groceries to TV. Raniere traveled across the US, hosting seminars for huge crowds, selling them on the dream of get rich quick. During the first year of CBI, Raniere built himself up to be some sort of guru, mythological figure. He was very charismatic and people believed him. They bought into the dream that he was selling. He was reportedly at the peak having 250,000 distributors, and the company CBI was pulling in over $33 million a year, reportedly. The structure was a classic MLM. The people needed to pay a subscription and they got money from the membership that they were able to sell, and also they got money from their downstream distributor. So for all the people that they were able to enroll into the system. But that was just on the surface. The system was crumbling, people were complaining, and slowly investigators started to look under the cover of the MLM, under the cover of CBI. What is an MLM? Thank you for the question. Very good question. An MLM is a sales structure in which independent distributors sells products directly to consumers, and they earn a commission on the sales that they make and a percentage on the sales that people that they recruited make. So people that they recruited are called downline, so they make a percentage also on them as well. MLM are often presented as a profitable way to make money, very flexible. You can make your own hours, you can be a business owner. The reality, very few people can make money out of an MLM. Usually people on the top make money because they have a lot of people downline. There is always an incentive to recruit more people. Selling the product doesn't make you a lot of money. Even though MLM are very dodgy, please stay away from them. They're still legal in many countries because at the end of the day, they still sell some certain product, some sort of product. In the case of CBI, the proposed product was this membership that allow you to get discounted prices or discounted goods and services in certain establishments. On the other hand, what is illegal are pyramid schemes. And the reason why pyramid schemes are illegal is because they don't sell anything. They only focus on recruiting and extracting money from the members that have been recruited. These pyramid schemes don't sell anything. If they do sell something, what they sell is useless or it's a scam. An MLM can very quickly risk becoming a pyramid scheme, and this is what the investigators tried to unveil. The real problem, as the investigator alleged, was that CBI wasn't about selling discount membership, it was about selling the opportunity to recruit others. The product didn't matter, all that mattered was the recruitment, and that's the classic sign of a legal pyramid scheme. Before long, more than 20 states had launched investigations, and in 1993, the New York Attorney General Office accused CBI of being a pyramid scheme. The company was bleeding $500,000 a month in legal bills. Finally, in 1996, without admitting he did anything wrong, Keith Raniere signed a consent order with New York. He agreed to pay a $40,000 fine and was permanently banned from ever participating in a chain distribution scheme again, though Raniere claimed at the time to have a personal net worth of $50 million. He only paid a tiny fraction of the fine, telling the state he couldn't afford it. Classic Keith. CBI collapsed, but for Raniere, that was just the beginning. That was a test run. CBI was the blueprint of what was coming next. After the collapse of CBI, Keith Raniere did disappear. He rebranded. In 1998, with a therapist named Nancy Salzman, he founded a company named This Way. Raniere claimed this is pronounced NXIVM. Now you tell me how this concoction of letter is pronounced NXIVM. That makes no sense. But anyway, the guy claimed he had an IQ of 240. So who am I to discredit either of these claims? By the way, when I saw the spelling, I thought that NXIVM was in Roman numeral. Well, it is not. NXIVM sold executive success programs, super expensive, multi-day seminars that promised to unlock your inner power and eliminate self-doubt. Just classic self-help content with a sprinkle of therapy jargon and catchy phrases. The business model was yet again a pyramid scheme. New recruits paid thousands of dollars for a 5-day intensive. That's what it's called, just intensive. To advance, they had to, you guess it, take more expensive courses. The only real way to make money was to recruit others and get commissions from their fees. Literally, just a pyramid scheme. The model generated a huge stream of cash for Keith, with thousands of people taking courses costing between $2,000 and $7,000 each. Money poured into NXIVM, but Raniere was banned from running any company or any scheme that looked like that, so the money couldn't flow directly to him. Instead, the money was channeled through countless NXIVM related companies, which made it incredibly hard to see where the cash was really going or coming from. Publicly, Raniere acted like an humble guru who had no need for money. In reality, NXIVM's entire financial structure was built to funnel the organization's wealth straight to him and protect him from the law. The multi-level marketing model from CBI was now on steroids and built into a money laundering machine. In 2003, NXIVM met Sarah and Claire Brofman. The two are the daughters of billionaire philanthropist Edgar Brofman Sr., chairman of the Seagram liquor empire. They were the rich heirs to a massive fortune. Claire, a competitive equestrian, joined NXIVM first, and soon both sisters were deep into Raniere's world. Raniere has always been a very charismatic man, and they saw him as a mentor who could give them a purpose beyond their wealth and family name. The Brofman sisters became the financial engine of the NXIVM cult. Over the years, they poured an incredible amount of their fortune into the organization. While it's hard to pin down exact numbers, court documents and reports estimate that together they funneled well over $100 million into NXIVM and its projects. The sisters' money paid for everything. It funded NXIVM centers in Canada and in Mexico. It paid for lavish events designated to make Raniere look more legitimate, like a consortium that even managed to bring the Dalai Lama to Albany.
The Dalai Lama did a lecture in Albany in which he implied that the media was wrong and that Keith Raniere was good.
The media people should have long nose as long as
And he gave him an award. He put a scarf around his neck. This is a Nobel Prize winner, and he's giving Keith Raniere the appearance of respectability by imbuing him with his aura.
But most critically, the sisters' fortune was weaponized against the victims. The students of the course, of course. Claire Buffmans became NXIVM enforcers. She was put in charge of the group's legal strategy, using her vast wealth to fund a brutal campaign of lawsuits against anyone who dared to criticize or leave. Journalists or former members found themselves buried in legal battles designated not to win but to bankrupt and silence them. For years, the wall of money and lawsuits built by Raniere and Bronfman seemed untouchable, but in 2017, a bombshell report in the New York Times exposed NXIVM's darkest secret, a secret sorority known as Dominus Obsequius Sororium, or DOS, which translates in English as Master over Obedient Women. As a side note, when I was in high school, I had to do Latin as a subject. I didn't choose to, it was compulsory, and I hated it. I couldn't stand it. And my teacher at the time told me that one day I will be thankful that I had to study Latin. I think that day might be today. I don't know. DOS was a sex slavery pyramid with Keith Raniere at the top. Women were blackmailed with damaging secret or photos, forced into sexual servitude, and physically branded with cauterizing pen, searing Raniere's initials into their skin. The story sparked an immediate federal investigation. In March 2018, Raniere was arrested in Mexico, where he had fled, and one by one, his inner circle was indicted. NXIVM President Nancy Salzman and her daughter were charged, and crucially, the money behind the operation, Claire Bronfman, was arrested for racketeering and financial crimes. The 2018 federal indictment laid it all out. First, the fees from thousands of NXIVM courses were funneled through a network of shell companies and not-for-profit, making it nearly impossible to see how much the money they were really making. Raniere claimed he made no money from NXIVM, which was obviously a lie. The money was just moved through channels that didn't have his name on them. Second, NXIVM committed fraud. One of the charges Claire Bronfman pleaded guilty to was fraudulent use of identification. She and Raniere used a dead NXIVM member's credit card to pay for expenses, essentially using a false identity, a ghost identity, to move money without trace. In other scheme, they smuggled an associate into the US using an ID card belonging to a dead person. So this is literally identity theft. A key element in these crimes was Claire Bronfman. Prosecutors showed how she moved her fortune to trust and wire transfer to funds NXIVM dirty work. This included paying for the lawyers who attacked NXIVM enemies and bankrolling Raniere's lifestyle. The federal investigation proved this was a long-running conspiracy. For over a decade, Raniere and his inner circle committed these financial crimes to protect their enterprise. The money was used to exploit victims and then used again to silence them. Keith Raniere insisted he was innocent. He went to trial in May 2019. For 6 weeks, a jury listened to testimony from over a dozen victims. They heard all about the branding, the starvation diets, abuse, but prosecutors also laid out the financial crimes that had the whole thing held together. They showed the wire transfers, the shell companies, and the fraud. In June 2019, the jury found Keith Raniere guilty on all counts: racketeering, trafficking, forced labor, and wire fraud conspiracy. In October 2020, Raniere was sentenced to 120 years in prison, and at the time of filming, Keith Raniere is still in prison. The racketeering charges were confirmed because Keith Raniere and NXIVM were found to be engaging in a pattern of illegal activities for ongoing commercial profit through an organized criminal enterprise, also called a racket. I talk more about racketeering in another video, which I'm going to link to this video and on the description. Go check it out. Raniere exploited basic human desire for happiness and people's vulnerabilities to catch them in a financial trap, locking his followers into a cycle of debt and dependency. The real accelerant was the Buffman sister fortune, which transformed NXIVM into a powerful racketeering enterprise that could wage war on its enemies. The money laundering, fraud, and identity theft were inside crimes. They were the foundation of the entire operation. They founded the abused, silenced the victims, and allowed Raniere to do what he was doing for nearly 2 decades. The fall of NXIVM is a stark lesson in how the quiet crimes of moving money is not victimless. If you made it till here, thank you so much. My name is Julia. I'm a certified anti-money laundering specialist. In my day job, I help businesses comply with anti-money laundering laws. And here on YouTube, I talk about money laundering laws, fraud, crime, financial crimes, all of this fun stuff. If you're interested, please comment, like, subscribe, the usual, and I see you on the next one.